So G-Man did it again, another one of his weird little rants, and claiming that somebody was saying that if he's sexist, he can't be a Christian. I don't buy that for a minute. I think that there's a lot of ways that you can read that book that it would actually result in you being a sexist, but whatever. I wanted to review a little bit of this, though.
Tell me something. And just to show you just how much fun I can have with an atheist today. Because I know Christians know how to tangle this. A lot of Christians know how to deal with this. Okay? Some Hebrew Israelites know how to deal with this. Some Jews, a lot of Jews know how to deal with this. Some Muslims know how to deal with this. But the one people out there who I know are completely and totally ignorant, minus Floyd, are the atheist community on this topic. Right?
Hey,
so tell me something. In Scripture, why did Abraham's wife call him master?
She didn't.
Just curious. And tell me how that's not being sexist.
Because the word that she used wasn't master.
I don't want to hear you get a Christian in your room and explain it. I want you to explain it. You got to.
Okay, I'll explain it to you. The word that was used was not master, nor does it translate as master. The word is Adonai. Now, Adonai translates to Lord, kind of like saying my lord or my lady, for that matter. It is actually a sign of respect that does not actually necessarily denote submission. The one that would have called him master would have been Hagar, not Sarah. Any more questions?
Got a lot of Googling. A lot of Googling. A lot.
No Googling whatsoever, but I did actually go to Google to verify what I initially believed was the case, and lo and behold, I was right.
A lot of Googling to do. Explain to me. And by the way, when I say a lot of Googling, you got to Google theology. You're going to have to Google what you believe about this. Then you're going to have to try to mishmash.
Actually, all I had to do is verify that I was correct, that he didn't actually... Sorry, that she didn't actually refer to him as master. It's Lord, like Lord of the House. It's just, like I said, it's denoting respect. It's not actually a matter of subservience in this case. The one that would have called him master, once again, would have been Hagar, which incidentally was the slave girl that belonged to Sarah that she gave to Abraham so Abraham could fuck her and then have offspring. You see, during this time period, Sarah couldn't yet have children until God opened her womb at the age of 100 and 100 and something. At which point, when God said to Sarah that he was going to open her womb, Sarah laughed in God's face. But God at that point was still referring to her with a great deal of respect, much like she referred to him as Lord, which Adonai technically, which doesn't quite translate as Lord. Adonai, there isn't really a direct translation for, but it is a show of respect, and in a non-subservient sense.
Trust me, you ain't winning this topic. Trust me, not even close. Because
okay, winning this topic when you're sitting there using the wrong word. Now, this might be because you're one of these King James only people, but if you'd actually looked at that and said, okay, her calling him master doesn't really make sense if they're married, and then bothered to double check it, or to think maybe she meant master in a different sense, but then looked up to see what the actual fucking word was, which takes no fucking effort whatsoever, you would have found that you, G-Man, are wrong with this. So let's talk about exegesis some more. Good grief.
Because secular morality and how women are treated today, well, I ain't gonna say that, but secular morality is a whole lot different than Christian morality. Yeah. Okay, because our morality is a whole lot better than y'all's.
I'm sorry, what? Now, here's the thing. Jewish culture and tradition. Now, we have the Pauline stuff, and some of the stuff that was introduced into the New King James and what have you. And some of the Pauline stuff that does really seem to be putting women on a lower tier in terms of society. And granted, there were some problems even within ancient Judea in terms of the number of people in terms of testifying, women's votes, so to speak, or their testimony counted less than that of a man. These are certainly problems and show a certain degree of sexism. But at the same point, generally speaking, women in Hebrew tradition were actually treated with a level of respect. Now, some of the respect and some of the regard towards them doesn't quite match up with how we see things today in our more enlightened time, because morality changes and evolves over time, and it's certainly gotten better, generally speaking. But there are those, use certain verses of the Bible to try to keep women in, quote, unquote, in their place, which wasn't even their place in accordance to ancient Judea from everything that I've learned based on the text. But this whole thing of why did Sarah call him master when you don't even know that the term is Edonai? Dude, that's pathetic.
So again, I would like for you, just with that one little phrase, I want you to explain to me what that meant when Sarah called her husband master.
Asked and answered. Learn to read your fucking Bible. Do some fucking research before you issue these idiotic challenges. If you're going to sit there and try and challenge atheists on here to answer a question, you might want to go out and try and find out what the answer is for yourself first, G. And on that note, I'm done.